You know, anything that you run past that you feel that,
Okay, I ran into one, they said, they were on SSI, and they were getting like 600 something about dollars a month.
I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna stop you. You know what I love about that? They have guaranteed income. Your job is to be able to promote the program, or should I say present the program, to reallocate funds that they're already receiving. So, and you could continue with the same scenario, but go ahead.
Okay, and their thing was affordable. They said, I'd like to get, I know I need it, but gee, I mean, that pays for everything. That's all I got. I don't have any extra.
So would it safe to say, sir, that the reason you're not able to move forward with this is because you don't have the funds?
Yes.
That's why I'm here. Answer that. I'm here because they don't have the funds. Because if they did have the funds, guess what? They wouldn't have sent back the form and requested this information. So my job, ma'am, due to the fact that you currently collect $600 from Social Security, if I'm not mistaken, for the first time in a while, I believe there's a 3-4% increase. I believe so. I think it was last year.
Okay.
So let's just say 20-something bucks, 24 bucks. How about we just use the increase? And realize one thing. If you want something sometimes in life, you have to compromise. You have to give up something. If you don't mind me asking, I see that you have a car in the driveway. Does this make sense? How many times would you say you fill up a month?
Once, twice a month.
Okay, so once, twice a month. Think about it like this. Would the cost of a half a tank of gas be worth the guaranteed security of the information that you just requested, which would be a $6,000 benefit, such and such accidental, along with, again, a whole life that accumulates cash value, that rewards you at the same time protection. So let's reallocate the funds that you're already receiving of $24, and let's at least start with this program. Who's your beneficiary? Rebut, say no, say anything you want. That make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Did you say that? That's it?
Did I say that? No, I said, well, I understand.
But remember one thing, the best part about the clientele that we visit, I would roughly say 99-100% of the people are on Social Security disability. Guess what that means? They all have money. May not be a lot. But your job then is to reallocate funds that they're already receiving into the program. So that's one of the advantages of final expense. Everyone has money. And what I mean by that is, I know it's limited, but the point is there has to be some type of a compromise. And I would then look at them and say, well, sir, if you don't mind me asking, how much did you expect this to cost? Let them answer. So they know it's not for free. It's $10, $20, $30. So whatever they expect it to cost, you always make sure you go underneath. Let's say they said $30 a month. Well, I could show you a program for 23. I could show you a program for 28. Maybe it's not the full benefit of, say, 10,000 if you feel you need. But I think I would agree, protecting your family, let's just say for 5,000, would be better than protecting them for 0. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Can I add something?
Yes?
Anytime I've run across,
Since I made this appointment with you, I talked to my sister and told her that you were coming, and she said, why don't you just donate your body to the medical school? People are doing that, and they don't have to pay anything for their final school.
Okay. But if you don't mind me asking, at the time of scenarios of death, do you currently have children, ma'am?
Yes?
Okay. Regarding with that, nobody knows the future regarding health. Nobody knows what the costs are going to be. No one knows about the affordability of that. So respectfully, if God forbid something does happen, is your sister going to be there to write a check for any debt, home, and/or final arrangements? And hypothetically, what if you decide to change your mind? What if in the last minute, remember one thing, ma'am, you've led this life to this point in honor. And respectfully, your final arrangements should be done in honor. However you want them, whether it's donating your body or not, there's still going to be some type of a cost involved regarding if you do pass away. And I'm pretty sure you probably don't want to pass that expense on to your children, because that's really who we would be paying for.
Probably the one I heard.
As possible. And I'm going to say something to everyone in here. It doesn't mean everyone's going to purchase a policy. You don't lose if you walk out, because if it's not in the best interest of the client, you shouldn't be writing it. This is about rebuttals. This is about they want it, but they're going to give you a reason why they don't. You see what I'm saying? So the point is, and the point I'm trying to make is that don't feel defeated, because here's reality. Reality is you may have more people say no to you than yes. But I can promise you one thing, when you deliver a death benefit, more than likely that person said no to you first. I would say 95% of the presentations you make, they'll say no first before they purchase, Tom. Would that be accurate? Tom, who wrote, I believe, 22 applications last week. So if anybody knows about writing an application and getting some no's before some yeses, it's going to be Tom. But did that answer your question? Yeah.
And so, my sister told me that these death policies, or whatever you all call them, just cost too much, and I can get a term policy.
Actually, you can't. I mean, what's your current age?
I'm 75.
No, that term would be probably more expensive, and we would have to do also, you know, based on the term.
10-year term, by the way.
Yeah, but the best would be a 10-year term, number one.
So you plan on going before you're done.
Second of all, you'd have to go through a full exam. Second of all, you'd have to go through a full exam. Okay? And again, please understand something. We are life insurance agents that are providing the best product. So guess what happens? Let's say you say, well, my sister said that a term policy would be better. Am I going to argue? I say, okay, great. I have access to I have access to very competitive term policies based off your age. How's your health? So then I would go over some health questions. Based off that, I would either go into the non-exam whole life based off the health, because I know if there's impairments, you have to go for an exam, you're more than likely to be good or turned down. But if your health appears to be good, I'll take out a term app and write you a term.
I would first educate you on term. We have a whole sheet back on the website that will show you term policies pay less than 1% of the time. So there's literally a whole sheet of information about term. So if you want term assured, I agree with you.
And I want to repeat, it doesn't mean you're going to purchase the policies. Take the pressure off of trying to sell. Put the pressure on of trying to make as many presentations as possible. Informative presentations. You're able to answer questions. You're able to explain the programs in detail. Yes.
I had one that says, thanks for doing a great job. I appreciate you giving me, informing me. Now let me think about it. I was upset. I mean, I'm ready.
Let me tell you one thing. The worst thing you could do is ever take it personally and emotionally. See, role play with it.
Okay, thank you very much for all this information. I really appreciate it. Tell you what, let me just think about what I'm going to do.
Absolutely. I strongly recommend you think about this, because whether you know it or not, this will be the top 2-3 decisions you make in your life. I don't expect you to make a decision now. But realize one thing, anything that you're thinking of is basically based on hypothetical scenarios. Meaning, you can't make a decision unless the insurance company makes a decision first. Because as you're in the process of thinking about it, it's all pending the approval from the carrier. See, what I want to do is I want to put you in a position of strength. What I mean by that is, let's submit the application, let's get the approval. The advantage is once you're approved, you now can dictate what you want, how you want, and where you want. Currently, right now, you're at the mercy of an insurance company for the approval. So anything you're thinking of is based off a hypothetical approval from the carrier. Does that make sense?
It's the, and you know, I made a mistake. I know I turned it off. I said, what are you thinking about?
If someone says something to you, please understand, you can't take it personally, because the minute you do that, you're selling. You're done. They're not going to buy it.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's so many people out there that need you. The last thing you want to do is have miscommunication and not be able to protect an individual. Because whether you know it or not, you're the financial bridge between someone's financial guarantees and someone's financial ruins. See, a lot of people look at it, well, it's 10 grand, it's 5 grand, it's 4 grand, it's 8 grand. This is estate plan for the individuals you're saving. Now why? Because there's a couple of less zeros, it's not important? Of course it is. Because I look many times and say, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, how long would it take you to save $5,000, $8,000, $10,000? They look at us all forever. The beauty here is you have that guaranteed. Yes, an event has to happen, but please also realize, along with living benefit, if you're terminally ill, admitted to a nursing home, admitted to hospice, depending on the carrier that you have, your family would have access, along with yourself, to these funds prior to your passing. So if an event does happen, you do have access. Remember, most life insurance companies, you die, they pay. With the programs we're showing, you live, you're rewarded as cash is being built up. Again, not a lot, because it's a small policy, but at least you know you have access to cash as it builds. And an event happens, nursing home, terminal illness, again, you go through how the riders work, you'd be able to receive that benefit before you pass it. So funds would be available for yourself and your family during these difficult times. And God forbid, if you do pass, those funds would also be available again in the death benefit tax free.
Let's ask this.
Let's say you're at that scenario. You look at it and say, you know what? I do this because it's important. I want to make sure from a communication standpoint, we're on the same page. Hypothetically, ma'am, if you had 1,000 customer today for Transamerica, and this could be a free product, which one would you pick? So I'll take that. So then it's the money. Then you go back to the money. Because you see the value of the program, which is why you pick it. And please understand, it'll never be a free product. My point is, I'm throwing up a scenario that if that was the case, which one would you pick? So you're basically saying if it didn't cost you anything, you would pick the $25,000 for $200 and something a month. So the only reason why you're not doing that is because it's $200 a month. So respectfully, would it be accurate to say it's the money? You know what's great about what I can do? I can customize the program to the penny you want to spend. My quick question is, how much do you expect this to cost?
Yeah, I did.
And how about this one? And if you're not doing it, I'm telling you, Joe, and I know Joe does it, I'm pretty sure Tom does this. If you're not doing this in the SIT, you are making and I'm telling you, he'll tell you, when I used to make presentations, when I was in the field, I used the 3-option close. Okay, when I say 3-option close, when I walk into a home, I explain the Social Security death benefit first. And I'm not trying to confuse anybody on presentations. I'm just trying to go quickly through why I really don't used to not lead into what you used to go, or you're going through. And I'll explain. When I would go into the home, I always would try to explain the Social Security death benefit. Why? A lot of people are misled, believing Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid will pay for final arrangements. The fact is, they do not. Okay? So what I like to do is explain the one-time benefit, $255, if they would qualify for it, and then explain anything over and above your family would be responsible for. So what do? I educate, and then I create the need. And then I simply ask, are you familiar with this? Or do you understand that it's a one-time benefit of $255 if you qualify? Anything over and above your family will be responsible for. I have them say yes. That creates the need. What also happened? By me going in there and explaining the Social Security death benefit, I'm the teacher and they're the student. I'm there for information that they requested. They're there to listen to it and see if it's something that would benefit them and what they're looking for. So once I get that, once I get the yes, this is what I do, and I promise you, 100% of the time, they answer the questions, and 100% of the time, at the end of the presentation, you always go back to it. And here's what I did. I have the lead on the desk after I explain the benefit for Social Security, and then I explain anything above $255 your family would be responsible for, and such and such. So I create the need. And I said, do you have any other questions regarding how that works? You say, no. I say, okay, ma'am, what I'd like to do first is make sure you would even need this program. Okay? I have here the form that you filled out. And typically, there's 3 reasons why somebody would take the time to fill out this form. Number 1, they don't have any insurance, and they're looking for some. Number 2, they have a little bit, but they're looking for a little bit more. Or number 3, they have a decent amount, but they're looking to add a special benefit for their loved ones. Mr. Smith, which category would best define your need? They answer it every single time.
You say that, and you hold your breath, literally.
Don't say another word.
Don't say another word.
They answer it every single time. Now let's role
Awkward
play.
silence, literally.
Now, let's
You
roll-
sit in
yeah.
5 seconds, 10 seconds of awkward silence. You just wait until they answer. Right, Tom? That's
Now,
how it works.
once they answer that, let's role play. Answer it.
Take care of my family?
No, I'm saying,
What?
number
Yeah,
1.
no insurance, you
Which
have
one
some-
did you answer? Number 1, 2, or 3?
Number
2. So you have a little bit insurance, and you're looking for a little bit more. I like the fact because now I know they're buyers of insurance. So the thing I would ask is, Mr. Smith, do you currently have the policy that you have? Now, if that person has $50,000 and all that, I could look at them and say, you may not need it, But again, you could use maybe the 50,000 to replace income, and you could maybe use this for funeral whatever, final expense arrangements. But I would then go to it. The point is, once I go over my presentation, once I get to the end where you were, and they say to me what I have to think about, I look at them and say, well, if you do recall, the reason why you filled out this form is because you didn't have any insurance and you were looking for some. Or you had a little bit and you were looking for a little bit more. Or you have a decent amount and you're looking to add a special benefit for your loved one. So those three questions they answer always lead into a purchase of a policy.
I guess it would a better salesperson would have, but she doesn't have insurance. This lady does not have insurance. I knew that. And then she said, that's what made me react. I said, what?
We're both at a point where the case is.
I'll get back again.
We're not gonna be great, say, no, I was just down the street helping one of your neighbors.
And I remember I came by and I showed you a program. I just want to let you know, I want to give you a couple more options that you weren't aware of, and I can promise you this information is very valuable. It'll take me about 3 to 4 minutes. May I come in?
Okay.
Where again, you said, I was literally just down the street helping one of your neighbors. I had to stop by and say hello again. We have a starter package right now. Baby one. If you got 5, 10 minutes, let me go out, come in and educate you in a new program. Wipe your feet, sign an entry, get it. And then take your,
And guess what?
all the way down to $15, $20 and work your way out from there. But if you walk out with that, you look.
Yeah, this will be fun.
I don't have a checking or savings account.
Okay.
I can eat cash every month, you made me think of that. So, can I just give you the cash and you can come pick it out?
Well, here's what I could do. Do you currently collect Social Security?
Yeah.
Perfect. We could do a Social Security debit card draft through Transamerica.
Then I'll be back up and say, no,
Who?
no, I don't collect Social Security.
They do. 99%. I guess what I'm trying to say is 99% of it.
I'm just saying, the ones I come across sometimes,
Okay.
they don't have a checking account, they work, like I had a guy the other day. He rides his bike to work, he wants to get a $10,000 policy, $60 a month. He goes, I can afford this.
Consistency more than likely will increase if you do these 2 things. Number 1, after every application is filled out, when you get a check, you do not get a voided check. Because some people, they don't have a commitment to it. What you do is you have them sign it, date it, make it payable to Transamerica, $26.10, bottom left memo, life insurance. You have them committed. And then guess what you do? Then you put void on it, it becomes a voided check. Or you make a copy and put void on it. The point is, if you just say, no problem, 2610, I just need a voided check. There's not a commitment to it. Have them commit to it. Everybody follow me? Have them write the check out. Okay? Second thing. You always do this. Sir, again, everything's going up, now you're leaving. Sir, before I go, and most of you look at me, Brian, get out. You got the app, get out of the house. Sir, before I go, it's very, very important. I get this information. First off, do you feel more secure today than you did yesterday?
I do now.
You do now?
Yeah.
Okay? Again, more importantly, are you comfortable with $26.10 a month?
Yeah, I can handle that.
Okay, that's very important. Here's why. If there's no benefit having a policy, there isn't a benefit, having a policy, and in 3, 6 months, 8 months later, you don't feel it's something you could afford. Respectfully, I'd rather have a policy instead of $3,500, $2,000, guarantee 20% of the need you're looking for, than have something at 35% of the need you're looking for with doubt or with hesitation. So to confirm, $26.10, are you comfortable being able to afford that each and every month on what?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect.
Hey, Brian,
And-
my free